Hello, this is Sonia from My Happy Space. Welcome back at my channel. Today I'm going to do another entry from the 517digital.com. It's a lady called Carrie. She designs these beautiful digitals. So I'm going to use this digital. It's called He Mends My Heart. And it's got this beautiful vintage vibe of sewing and buttons and embroidery strips and even crocheting or tatting. I'm not actually 100% sure. And that's got this absolutely gorgeous sewing machine. My mom used to have one like that, obviously just black. But it brings so much memories back, and I love these little stitches in there. And then it's got further there some journaling spots, little heart buttons, and these little phrases. Beautiful. There's also some sort of ideas where you can journal, Psalm 61 verse 2. And then I've started already cutting in some of these digitals, and then I thought, no, let me first hop on and tell you and show you how it looks. So I don't know, I think it maybe this one comes in there, these little heart buttons. And yeah, and this beautiful table of the sewing machine, some more phrases, Psalm 34 verse 18, some buttons, journaling spaces, and then obviously here I've cut the other heart out from here. And yes, it's as I said, there's loads of ideas for you to journal in. It's all in the Psalms. There's so many times in the Psalms that it talks about God heals a broken heart. So there's plenty of ideas. And then they've got then she's got paper, sort of backing paper. What you can do is I usually select just one of these paper and then I make it bigger and then I print it in A4 size. So then I can use it as background papers. So yeah, there's plenty to use from. I will link the details down below. If you use my discount code Sonia20 off, which I'll also leave down, obviously you get 20% off. And there's obviously loads more other digitals you can make use of, but I'm going to work with this. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do yet. I'm going to first fussy cut everything, play around, and then I'll come back to you and let's see what I'm going to do. I've pulled everything out which I wanted to use. I've decided to do a FaithDex card, and I'm actually going to do a Bible entry. I couldn't decide which printables to use. I was drawn to both of all these beautiful printables, and both colors is pink and the light blues also. So yeah, my first entry is going to be a FaithDex card or a FaithDex card, as I said, and I was drawn to Psalm 107 verse 19 to 20. I've gone last year through the Psalms, and I can remember this psalm really popped out to me. And the psalm says, "Then they cried to the Lord in their troubles, and he delivered them from their distress. He sent out his word and healed them and delivered them from their destruction." And that little bit that says he sent out his word and it healed them, that just really, really stood out to me. So I really wanted to document that. Now, in the meantime, what you said to see me do is I'm trying to put various cards together to get the same width as my memory index box, which I've made myself. I've got a video how to do that. I will link it up in the chart. So I'm putting various of these beautiful printables together, that button printable and the little stripe printable at the back, and I'm loving this crochet, pink little crochet. I'm doing crocheting myself, so I have done a crochet granny square pattern like that before that, so that really spoke to me. So I'm just using these various printables. I love this dotted stripe ephemera which looks like stitching, so I'm just definitely want to try that to get that in there. So yeah, as you see, I'm just playing about and see where I'm going to do my journaling. I first wanted to do that journaling card horizontal, but then it just didn't want it to work, so I got the brainwave to tuck it in vertical underneath that button card. Just to get back to the verse, I just really a great believer that the Word of God can heal you emotionally and mentally. That is just to me a strong believer. I believe if you're in the Word of God and you wash yourself with the Word of God, I think 90% of all our problems, all our mental problems will probably disappear if we just root ourselves in the Word of God and really wash ourselves with the Word of God. I just think if we as believers doesn't believe that there's power in the Word of God, yeah, I think our belief needs to be in that the Word of God can heal us emotionally and spiritually, and that it has got power that nothing else that anybody else or the world can offer us can have. As you see, I've done my journaling, as I said, vertical. And it says, I just wrote the verse down and I just said, Lord, I'm so grateful for your word. So yeah, that is just something I'm grateful for. Now, my idea is to put that little hand there with the needle, and I've got this cute little heart button, and I want to almost have the effect that she is sewing that button on. So yeah, that was just my idea about it. So I was trying to play around, but then I sort of got the brainwave to put real thread through that button, just to give it the effect that it's been thread through. So as you see, I pulled out some of my embroidery thread, and I'm just putting thread through that little button ephemera, and I'm just working it through. I've left a little bit of the thread at the back just to bring a little bit texture on the button, but I'm actually sad I didn't put some more. I left some more thread on there, but by that time I've cut it off already. So I just wanted to keep that little thread there just to bring dimension, because otherwise you won't be able to see that it is actually a real thread. So yeah, I just love the idea how it looks. It's lovely. I love this vintage printables. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now in this kit, there's loads of there's at least 3 or 4 ideas where to journal from, and it's amazing how many times the psalmist and David talks about the healing of the heart, and that the word of God is healing to us. And one of the suggestions is Psalm 61 verse 2, and it says, "For the ends of the earth I cried for you for help. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the towering rock of safety, for you are my safe refuge, a fortress where my enemies cannot reach me." So yeah, Jesus is really our refuge. God is our refuge. We need to run to him in times of trouble. And the other verse is Psalm 147 verse 3. It says, "He heals the brokenhearted and bandages their wounds. He counts the stars and calls them all by name." So yeah, Jesus is our healer. So as you can see, I've done it now, finished it. I'm just trying to cut it so it can fit in my FaithDex card. I love how it turns out. I like the dimensions on it, the fact that it popped over at the top, that little crochet square. So I love how it turns out. So now we're going to turn to my Bible entry. So I hope you enjoy that too. Okay, I'm moving into my Interleaf Bible, which I show you here. I definitely wanted to record it also in here. So I'm showing you this beautiful vintage needlework machine with this piece of cloth which I've embroidery a little heart, and I wanted to continue the theme of putting actually sort of thread and sort of dimensional things in it. So I thought it would look very cute if I pop that little heart embroidery piece underneath the needlework machine. So it is almost an indication that God is mending my heart, just as that needlework machine is creating that little heart and stitching it together. So I'm just using mostly the blue elements, and I'm just putting a cluster of all the blue elements behind the needlework machine. And here I'm just showing you if I've enlarged that crochet granny square, and I've just used a piece of it to put at the bottom just to accentuate and put clusters. I've sort of tried to put 3 clusters, one there at the top with the heart, which is going to be my little tabby, and then obviously the sewing machine with the cluster behind it, and then here at the bottom I'm just using that cut off piece from the granny square and some of the stitch lines with that heart which is made out of buttons, which is very cute. So as I said, I'm just trying to put these 3 clusters in. I wanted to put definitely a space in the middle because I wanted to do some journaling. So that was my idea of keeping that space open. So I've just put all my cluster down. I glued it down, and I'm putting these beautiful little strip of lace ribbon with this little flowers underneath there. And I'm just working on the cluster here at the bottom. I've stuck that down already. And then I want to definitely use this He Mends My Heart, because this is sort of the name of this kit, He Mends My Heart. But it didn't pop enough out for me, so I've decided I'm going to back it on with one of the ephemera, which was almost as like a purple present, which is wrapped in ribbon. So I just used that to put behind He Mends My Heart. I'm journeying in the same passage, Psalm 107. So here I'm just underlining it to make sure obviously this could correspond with that. And then in the middle of my page is that blue little measuring tape, which I'm just going to pop next to it, just to show that that is the journaling spot and this is connected to this page. So I really like how it looks now. So I'm just going to pop in Psalm 107 in that little open space. And then I'm just showing you, in the meantime, as you've seen, I've done all my journaling already. And then these are sort of awkward little white space there at the top. So I want to use fussy cut these little pieces of the lace ribbon, but it just didn't work very well. I didn't really know what to do. Then I remember I've got this leftover piece of this granny square. So I'm going to pop it there at the top. So almost to bring a little bit to round it off. There's now at the bottom some of that purple, and there's at the top some of the purple. And then I decided to use stick it with this washi tape, which is black striped washi tape, and I thought that will continue definitely the theme of the dotted stripes, which is like stitching. So I enjoyed that element. As I said, this verse means a lot to me, so I definitely wanted to journal it also in my Bible. And because, as I said last year when I went for the Psalms, it really stood out to me. This is really a verse that just popped out, and it confirmed my belief that the Word of God is all we need here to heal us. And now what I thought is I'm going to spread some of these little flowers over the page just to get rid of these awkward spaces. Okay, I really love this page, how it turned out. Remember to take my discount code here, Sonia20 off, which I'm going to leave in the description box if you want to order these printables, and I will link her website, her Etsy shop also down below. So yeah, if you like to do that. In the meantime, I'm leaving you with some close-up photos. Let me know which one are your favorite, the memory Dex card or the Bible entry. Please like this if you like what you saw, and if you haven't subscribed, I'll really appreciate it if you do. Bye-bye.